Hey everybody. So interestingly, I forgot that I needed to add some new properties for spotlights. So right now, a spotlight, when you have a spotlight, it can be, it just has all the same properties that the world. Um, um, yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure. Let me try that again. Oh my gosh, I wonder why the. Oh, because the whole thing is coming back. Wow, okay, that's going to be an interesting little thing to deal with. So if you change the light from a point to a spotlight, the old light basically, in effect, gets deleted and a new light comes in. And if you had it open, then um, it closes, which I do not remember that being an issue before. Well, so I guess we should figure that out. Let me see. Is there any way to, at this point, oh, okay, the name, but see, names don't have to be unique. Um, I wonder if, I guess I should add like a previous ID to this. Um, so then when a, yeah, so this is, okay, so this problem, it's crazy how Spotlight has just been such a problem child for me. So this problem uh, is that when the mesh, I think the same thing happens in meshes, right? Meshes, let me see. Yeah, no, they definitely would let you change. That's so weird. Did the ID change? Oh, when I changed the sphere, because the ID is 23. Oh, okay, so it does not get a change in ID. Um, but for Spotlight, we create a whole brand new light, and then for some reason, and since when the table redraws, it doesn't recognize that it was updated. So if we look inside of the, I cannot believe I'm still working on bugs. That's so funny. Okay, so when a inside of the light manager, let's see. So this effect, this, and we update the forms. And basically, what has happened is that um, filtered lights. What has happened is that um, filter. Um, what has happened is the ID is changing, and since the ID is changing, let's see, the filtered lights list is changing, and I'm guessing that I have a table over here which is using this, and it's not recognizing that. And so I think what I need to do is write some code, um, probably like some code right here that will now go and determine if, like, right here, determine if the row should be opened um, due to um, ID change. Because it's really, I mean, this is probably the kind of thing that as a developer, a lot of developers would probably be like, this is the kind of thing that like a lot of developers will find a bug like this, and then they'll just sort of hope that nobody notices, but they're gonna notice. So now for me, it's like, well, this is just a good, interesting challenge. I would like to move along and add more attributes, but you know, that's definitely um, not a thing. Okay, so that's not. This is not the time to do it. So when we toggle the edit, this dot edit. Okay, that's whether we're opened or not. How do we know? I wonder. I think I'm handling the open and closes. Delete row actions if edit. Okay, so this is what makes all of these guys open, and then okay, so we have an expanded light ID. Okay, that's a relief. Okay, so so the expanded light ID doesn't match up. So basically, I have to somehow know that a ID, a light that was opened has changed IDs. And I think the only way I can imagine being able to do that is by like having some code, having it in the actual ID. Um, Now that's kind of a bummer because we're kind of back into like this is very component specific and um, logic, but yeah, this is a tough one because we don't really have a way of tracking across changes what it previously was. And I guess that would probably be. There are other contexts in which knowing what the previous value of the like the history of it is, what its previous IDs were. Um, so I guess what I should do is um, I'm thinking that. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I think I need to store that on the object itself on the interface. But what I'm struggling with is, should I store it as an array and then store all the previous values, or should I just store the last one? I think I should store just the last one. Um, so we could just have like previous ID. And then that's going to be a number. And then this will all get broken for me. And we'll come over here and let's see. Basically, it's upset that it doesn't have a previous ID. So I'm just going to say uh, and at this point it's a -1. And then I think what in the manager itself, in the light service manager, I'm sorry, in the light 3JS Lite, because this doesn't have a service yet. In the 3JS service, when you do a Control F update light. Okay, so basically, so we know at this point, the minute the light types, when they don't match, we know that, okay, the ID is going to change. So we can say light item dot previous ID is equal to light item dot ID. And this is a primitive value ID, so that will not that won't be a reference to the ID, I don't think. So then basically after a change, in the animation, I mean in the light manager, I probably should have already, I guess I didn't commit and push these last changes. So anytime there's an effect, inside of the effect right here, that means there was some kind of change that happened. And basically what we want to see is if the expanded light ID is equal to a previous ID. So so we're just going to go through our whole lights list. There's no reason to just go through filtered lights lists. Lights list for each. And basically every one of these things is a light item, which is a light interface. And then we are going to go through the light items. We're going to, that's the name of it, right? What is the deal here? Why is it, I wonder what it's upset about. It's upset. Oh, yeah, that was weird. I don't know why I double arrowed it. So basically what we're looking to see is if expanded, if the expanded ID, this dot expanded ID is equal to the light item dot previous ID. And then so the main thing I don't like about this is that I'm thinking about the export and how this previous ID really, it seems like previous ID will probably end up being useful since they are changing at some point, but who knows. So anyways, I have mixed feelings about it, I guess, as you can tell. Basically now this dot expanded light ID is equal to light item dot previous ID. So that should work. So basically, just to kind of, I added a new attribute called previous ID, and anytime you create a new, anytime you you modify the light to in such a way that it could get that it'll get a new ID, that is recorded basically on the object and the light item. And now if the light, basically every time it's just going to loop through them and it's going to see, is the current expanded light ID equal to a previous ID? If it is, well, then it needs to be updated to the new ID. That should be nice and simple. Should work. Who knows? That's an awful lot of code for me. Usually I test things. I mean, I kind of work a little bit more iteratively. I make sure that the things are there. But hey, What could go wrong? Anyway, so this guy's open, then Spotlight. Oh, that didn't work. All right, so let's see. Did we get a... Oh, so we have an error. Cannot set property of undefined. I wonder if that is related to this. And then I wonder if... Let's see. So let's see. Go to lights. Add a light. Edit a light. Expand this. Okay, so we don't have a problem yet. Spotlight. Okay, so this might even... Okay, so this is happening in the oh my gosh, we're back in the animation service. So it was not happy on line 65 for update light. It's saying that the 3 object was undefined. And what's really strange about this is it's not even animated, so I don't even know why we're getting here. Animated service update. How are we? Was I working? Did I? Oh, maybe I updated it somewhere else. Okay, and now this is where I'm sorry that I didn't do the previous commit. Okay, animated service. So I don't understand why update light. Okay, what is the whole stack? Console. So it's saying it's, oh, because of 3. Okay, that it got called from here. And then ThreeJS calls animated service. Oh, okay, so this should only get called if... Oh, okay, that makes sense. This should only get called... This is, a bug, and this might actually be the problem. This should only get called when... if it's animated. If it's not animated, it shouldn't call this. So that makes sense. Let's see, animation service, ThreeJS service. So I only tested it while it wasn't animated. Light. Oh, it's just light item because it gets passed in. It's just light item. It's just this guy, not this dot light item. Light item dot animated. So we should only try to update the light in the animation service if it's animated. All right, so that was another bug with the animation implementation. Edit. Point spotlight. Okay, did we get the bug again? Did we get the console error? No. Okay, so the console error is gone. It's still messing up. Let's see. So now I think we need to debug through this code here. So it's line. So we're just gonna say console.log this dot lights list. And then light edit. Add light. Spotlight. Okay, so did the effect never run? Is that? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Because it's the filter value is nothing. So this code doesn't actually. This would only run if there was a filter. So that was the wrong spot to determine if the. Basically, no matter what, we want to determine this. So Control V. So now I kind of understand why you have to run everything for every effect. Okay. All right. Let's try that again. You rascal. All right. So let's look at this. Where's our previous ID is 13? That seems right. Our current ID is 19. All right, so that part worked. So I guess we'll do this. We'll expand it, and I guess we can just do it again. Point. Oh, yeah. No, what's our, okay, our expanded light and our light item's previous ID is equal. So now we're saying that expanded light needs to change from, wait, light item. Oh my God. Oh, no. Oh, this needs to be the light item's current ID. Silly rabbit. Um, Now, I will tell you, as a programmer, it's very easy to get into the habit of really beating yourself up when you make a mistake like that, like calling yourself a bad name or something, or really, that is not a good idea. Over time, that sort of negativity in your mind will kind of stack up, and you will actually like totally demoralize yourself if you do that. So I strongly suggest not doing that. Just try to be gentle with yourself. You deserve it. Um, all right, let's give this another shot. Okay, so another bug, another bug, another day, another bug. Um, and actually two bugs. We fixed two bugs today. One is that I was calling code to update the animated pair when the animated pair didn't exist, and the other was to update the expanded thing. I say there's probably a 50-50 chance that the previous ID will end in tears. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll be fine. Um, I don't think, I don't, I don't know. It's 50-50. I think it's, you know, and okay, so 50-50 chance that there's going to be some unattended consequence that I can't think of that I'll have to repair later. And then there's also another 50-50 chance that I'll need that I'll need to kind of keep track of that previous ID um, for some other reason. Like there'll be some other. Oh yeah, no, I could totally see. Yeah, actually, no, there's 100% chance I'm gonna need that previous ID. And the reason I'm gonna need that previous ID is because in the future we'll be adding grouping where you can combine two things together. And obviously, if they change, like if I have like, let's say I have a point light sitting in front of a little ball or something, and they're moving along together, and then I say, oh, you know what? I'd rather this be a spotlight. Um, when that ID changes, I need to know that so I can uh, regroup it. Um, so I can do that regrouping. Now, I think there is an outside chance that it will need to be an array. Like, not only do I need to know what it previously was, but I need to know all of its previous incarnations and whatever it was. So who knows? But anyways, here we go. Hopefully, tomorrow there's not another bug, and I can start working on what thought I was going to work for. It's probably the intensity. And I think the change I need to make for intensity is that apparently with the other kinds of lights, you could only go from 0 to 1 with the. Um, Let me see. What is the range? The range for intensity. The for spotlights. And the only reason I think that you can have a higher intensity is because that says 1.5, but maybe that's not true. Um, okay. So can a point light have point light have an intensity greater than 1? Question mark. Oh, okay. So I probably shouldn't have. So basically, all that. So tomorrow, hopefully will have an easy day. All I have to do is change that from a what is the from a slider to a text box. Max intensity. Okay, so there is no max. So yeah, they should just be able to. Um, so I need to change that to a text box tomorrow. Um, or I guess it makes sense. No, I think I should make it two. If maybe I almost feel like I should limit it to 10,000, but that always ends up being a mistake. At some point somebody will I'll want something greater than that. Like, who knows? So, um, and then trying to drag something with that high of difference, like how would you ever get to one? One, it would be our typical, 0 would be our point half. So I guess, yeah, I just need it to be a text box, and then add like whatever kind of validation I have up here. Like I just try to put the letter S in there and it sets it to 0. Um, so whatever I'm doing for that, I just need to go change to that tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully we're not dealing with another bug. Hopefully we're not dealing with another 30-minute freaking video. And happy coding, everybody. Bye.